There we go. Fudge! Gang! I'm still a hard man! Alright, here is the script for my movie that I wanted to do. Who is Forge Warhammer? Who is Forge Warhammer? He is a veteran of the Kino A-Log Wars. He came from a cowboy background. Growing up in the gun-slinging West, he fought bandits and did cattle wrestling. Or cattle rustling. Forge Warhammer got a reputation as a very trustworthy cattle rustler. Captured by pirates, he became a captain, engaging in pirate raids around Tortuga. It was here that he found the legendary Aztec gold, which bore a magic talisman. The magic talisman drew him to the faraway Shonjin Fujiwara Monastery. Forge Warhammer trained for many years with the monks, becoming a near master of their special arts. He went to the top of a distant sage mountain. Here he communed with the divine essences and had an out-of-body experience. Forge Warhammer's ascension allowed for him to go to the abode of the gods. The gods, however, would not give him the elixir of life. They proceeded to punish Forge Warhammer by banishing him to the underworld. For countless eons, Forge Warhammer was trapped in Hades. He, however, grew in strength. He escaped across the river Styx. However, the price was he then had to find a magical sword deep beneath the waves. With a submarine, Forge Warhammer dived deep into the ocean. He found an ancient shipwreck. From it, the instruments and map to find the sword. Forge Warhammer's quest took him to a distant jungle. Here, at the top of a volcano where a dying star had fallen into the crater, was forged the sword of Masar-Pitukte-Mafehe. Pihe. The sword carried Forge Warhammer to the distant, lost continent of Muwa. It was here he trained in its arcane arts. He mastered the powers of the sword and proceeded to fight in the A-Log Wars. With many battles was the legend of Forge Warhammer born. This is how he became the berserker leader of Forge Gang. Can you write a full script for this story? So we have the Wild West day, 1800s. The sun beats down on a dusty frontier town. Young Forge Warhammer, a rugged teen with a cowboy hat and a 6-shooter at his hip, rides into frame on a horse, herding cattle across the plains. In the gun-slinging West, Forge Warhammer grew up tough. Born to a cowboy legacy, he wrestled cattle and fought off bandits with grit and a quick draw. Bandits ambush the herd. Forge Warhammer draws his gun, firing shots. Chaos ensues. Gunfire, horses rearing. He takes down the outlaws one by one. Forge Warhammer proceeding to yelling, "You varmints ain't taking these steers." He earns a reputation as a trustworthy cattle rustler, stealing from the rich to aid the poor frontiersmen. And then it cuts to extension the Caribbean Sea at night. A pirate ship captures Forge Warhammer during a raid on his coastal hideout. Bound in chains, he's dragged aboard. The pirate captain, "Ye'll serve or walk the plank, cowboy." Forge Warhammer breaks free in a brawl, overpowers the crew, and claims the ship as his own. He becomes a feared pirate captain, raiding around Tortuga. During one plunder, he discovers a chest of Aztec gold. Inside, a glowing magic talisman pulses with ancient power. Forge Warhammer, holding it up. "What sorcery is this?" The talisman hums, pulling him eastward like a compass. Cut to extension. Shojin Fujiwara Monastery, Mountains of Japan, dawn. Forge Warhammer arrives at the ancient monastery, drawn by the talisman's magic. Monks in robes greet him warily. The head monk, the talisman chooses its bearer. "Train with us and master the special arts." Years pass in montage. Forge Warhammer mediates. Forge Warhammer meditates, practices martial arts, spars with monks. He becomes a near master, his body honed like a weapon. Cut to extension, distant Sage Mountain, peak, night. At the summit, Forge Warhammer lifts. At the summit, Forge Warhammer sits in lotus position, communing with divine essences. Winds howl, he has an out-of-body experience. His spirit floats upward. His astral form enters the abode of the gods, a ethereal realm of clouds and golden halls. Gods, chorus. "Mortal, why do you seek us?" Forge Warhammer astral. "Grant me the elixir of life." The gods laugh thunderously. "God of judgment, insolent fool, you are not worthy." They banish him with a bolt of light. His spirit plummets into darkness. Cut to underworld, Hades, eternal darkness. Forge Warhammer awakens in chains amid flames and tormented souls. Demons torment him for eons. Trapped in Hades for countless ages, Forge Warhammer grew in strength, forging his will like steel. He battles demons in brutal fights, growing more powerful. Finally, he breaks free and reaches the river Styx. Charon, the ferryman. Cross if you dare, but the price is steep. Retrieve the magical sword from the depths. Forge Warhammer nods, driving into the inky waters. Cut to ocean depths. Submarine day. In a makeshift submarine, cobbled from pirate tech and monk ingenuity, Forge Warhammer dives deep. Inside, he finds instruments and a tattered map pointing to a distant jungle. Forge Warhammer whispering to himself. The sword awaits. Cut to distant jungle. Volcano summit night. Trekking through vines and ruins, Forge Warhammer climbs the volcano. At the crater's edge, where a dying star once fell, he discovers the Forge of Legends. Amid lava flows, he pulls the sword of Masore Pitu Te Ma Pihe from the molten rock. It glows with cosmic energy. The sword awakens, granting him visions and power. Cut to lost continent of Mua, ancient temples dawn. The sword transports Forge Warhammer to Mua, a sunken land risen anew. Mystical warriors train him in forgotten arts. Montage, swords play, energy blast, mastering elemental forces. He becomes unstoppable. Here he mastered the sword's powers, preparing for the wars to come. Extension: Kino A-Log Wars Battlefield. Chaotic front lines, eternal conflict. Explosions, clashing armies. Forge Warhammer charges as a berserker, sword blazing. Narrator: in the Kino A-Log Wars, he fought countless battles. His legend was born amid blood and glory. He leads the Forge Gang, fierce warriors into victory after victory. Forge Warhammer roaring, for honor, for the Forge. Enemies fall. He rises as the berserker leader. Fade out, the end. And that is the story of Forge Warhammer. All right, so that's the story. Anyway, now I gotta save this. Let's go ahead and see what's going on my YouTube channel. All right, so that's the script. That is the script of Forge Warhammer. Forge Warhammer! Alright, anyways, I've been your host, Imperator of Forge, leader of Forge Gang. Stay hard.